Hi, I'm Melanie from Nova Scotia, Canada, and this is Adventures in Groceryland. This is week 11 meals of our $21 grocery budget challenge. There are two of us. We each have a $21 budget, making our grand weekly total $42. Any food that we do not eat, we carry forward into future weeks. So that means we are not just eating what we purchased this week for $42. We are eating anything we have accumulated in our pantry so far, and it's pretty substantial. We are starting to get condiments, we are starting to get spices, we are starting to get all of those things that make a tight budget taste so much better. This was a little bit of a different week. I was away for 4.5 days. So you are going to see what I ate while I was away. Everything was covered by work. The majority of my meals were either at the hotel, fully covered breakfasts at the hotel and suppers at the hotel, all arranged, or it was group lunches at the work sites with multiple people, like shared lunches. So check that out. But the interesting thing is the handsome one ate while I was away. He had a special list of some items that he wanted, which we were able to get within the budget. And he took some videos and some pictures. So you're going to see them mixed in together. The way that they are uploaded here is the breakfasts from the same day, the lunches from the same day, the suppers from the same day. And you'll be able to tell which is mine and which is his. Thanks for tuning in. Lunch today is goulash. So we made goulash last week. I do have more frozen than this in preparation of the days that I'm going to be away. I specifically have a special package set aside for the handsome one to have for supper one night. On top of these, so I've already heated this up, but on top of these, we are going to add more of the smoke flavored cheddar and just heat it again to melt it. This will be a great lunch. Lunches are always easy when you have leftovers. And any work that you do to prep specific sizes in the freezer is old you helping current you. That's the way that I look about it. Old you is helping current you. Looks great. These are green onions that I grew and dehydrated myself. I'm just adding a couple on as a fun little garnish. Perfect. I am currently thawing out one of the packages of lean ground pork and one of my packages of lean ground beef. I'm going to combine these together and we are going to make meatballs for supper tonight. And obviously 2 pounds of meatballs is going to be for more meals than supper tonight. We are going to have this with the rest of that cauliflower, cheese, broccoli, Marie Callender's as a side, but we're also going to have this with rice and honey garlic meatball sauce. All right, I'm going to mix these together. I'm going to add in whatever spices that I happen to have here that I think like, oh, this would be great. Let's throw some of that in. I do have some breadcrumbs that I made out of the last 2 pieces of the homemade bread. So how I make breadcrumbs, I literally just leave the pieces of bread out on the counter on a plate till they get really hard. And then I break them up in like my little chopper. I'm going to use the smallest of my scoops to make the meatballs. Here we go. Those are looking pretty awesome. I'm going to get them in the oven. Here I mixed some of my white rice that I already had. I actually think it's jasmine rice. And then some of the rice medley that I had together. I'm cooking that. I've got this pot ready with the water in it that I'm going to need for the honey garlic sauce. Now, the honey garlic sauce calls for 3/4 of a cup of water. Meanwhile, in a wok, combine the remaining seasoning with 3/4 of a cup of water and 1 tablespoon of honey, bring to a boil. So in all other meal solutions, I'm always saying, oh yeah, I can get half or I can get 2 servings out of this. I actually add extra water when I make the honey garlic meatball so that I can get extra sauce, so that I can make that sauce stretch a little bit further. So it was supposed to have 3/4 of a cup. I actually doubled it. There's a cup and a half in there. Getting the Brussels sprouts ready. I'm going to put them in now. I do have honey. I got honey from my boss last year. He is a beekeeper. It was creamed honey, and so I have this in the water now. I just turned the stove on low. I just want to dissolve that honey before I add in the package mix. This is after 20 minutes. You see here, I'm going to flip these all over, and then I'm going to put them back in for another 10. They're all flipped over and back in for another 10 minutes. All right, the honey is dissolved. Now let's whisk this in. So whisking this like this. Cheese slice, and we'll cover this back up, and the steam and the heat of the Brussels sprouts will melt the cheese. So we'll have cheesy Brussels sprouts. Always multitasking when you're cooking meals. This is starting to look like honey garlic sauce. So we just need to bring this to a boil and then reduce the heat and simmer until it reaches the consistency that I want. I have doubled this recipe before, and I do get a consistency that I'm happy with, but I also get almost double the quantity of sauce that I would if I would have just stuck to the package instructions. Now that these are cooked, I'm going to immediately separate it into two, because half of these can go in the freezer for future meals. And then I'll take a look at how much is left for one meal, and we'll just figure it out. I'm going to figure it out. Do I have enough for 2 meals, or 2 meals and a lunch, or something like that? This is what I've got. I think what I can do is take a couple from each serving and make something that would be not a full, obviously not meatballs and rice, but maybe meatballs in with something else. And I'm going to package that separately. See, this melted, and I can just stir this up. Perfect. Wonderful. It's exactly what I wanted. Honey garlic meatballs with rice, Brussels sprouts, and riced cauliflower and broccoli with cheese. Look how amazing this looks. So good. Very, very excited. I have packaged up this much for a future meal. Leaves me this much, which I am going to put in this sauce, stir it up, because I'm going to be away this week. This will be a meal and a lunch up for the handsome one, unless he's like super excited and greedy and just eats the whole thing in a supper. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not going to be here. So we'll just cover everything up here. I will say it's been a long time since I made meatballs. I next time would cook them for 15 minutes and then flip them and put them in for an additional 10. 30 minutes was just a little bit too long, I think. 25. 20 wasn't quite enough. 30 was a little too long, so 25 seems like that perfect number. This looks great, so I'm going to get this put away for him. The handsome one is with some friends right now, so I am going to make some popcorn for snack for me tonight. So this little piece, this is the measuring for the kernels, and you just pour them in the hole and then cover it back up. That much makes this bowl. I think that's pretty great, and I have this many kernels left. I just cut open this pomegranate that I got a while back, like weeks back, in a flash food box that I got from No Frills in Bridgewater when I was there for work. I'm going to try to dig these pomegranate seeds out. I'm not sure if these will be okay for a smoothie, but I was kind of thinking that I should use it up, and I'd like to have a smoothie. We don't have any more frozen fruit, so let's just see if we can get this to work. First, a big blob of yogurt. I'm pretty certain, here I'm starting to do this and I've already got the yogurt in here. I'm certain there's still bananas in the fridge, but hopefully we didn't eat those before. One banana left, so good news. I'm going to get the whole banana in there. It's got to get used up. I only added half the pomegranate. It's got a full banana, a bunch of spinach. Oh, look, I'm making a mess. A bunch of spinach, liquid, the yogurt. I think this is great, and I think I'll be able to save this pomegranate. I should probably pull the seeds out and freeze them. That worked out pretty well. We're actually already on day 2 of week 11, and I still haven't bought the week 11 groceries yet. So even if I just get one banana, then we can have smoothies again tomorrow. Before I head out for work. Well, we'll have more than that for a meal, but that will be an easy meal for us. And it'll get that other half of the pomegranate used up and the last of that spinach as well, or maybe there'll still be a little spinach left. But we are eating this now. This was important because we don't want to go to town hungry, and we are actually going to run errands and get groceries now. These are the last of the potatoes that I got at Gateway on Black Friday. I'm going to dice these up and we are going to put them on the barbecue. We are going to have these stuffed mushrooms and also pork chops for supper tonight. I didn't even use them all. Potatoes, mushrooms, pork chops. Okay, here we are. Pork chops, barbecued potatoes, yellow and green beans, and the stuffed mushrooms, and we top them with just a little bit of cheese. Yummy. Let's get a closer look. This is really looking good. What I find interesting is the package of pork chops that I bought said it was a club pack. It had 4 pieces, like tiny little pieces in it like that, and it was approximately 1 pound total. That's not what I consider a club. That's just not what I consider a club back. The handsome one and I are just going to have a very simple snack. Cheese nibs, cheddar jalapeno crackers with cream cheese. Time for smoothies. We'll use up the other half of the pomegranate from yesterday. And banana, we're going to use this whole banana. They're a bit smaller than the other ones I had. We'll use the rest of the spinach, yogurt, and some of our new Enjoy almond vanilla milk. If you've never seen a pomegranate before, you pull it apart and all those little things are seeds, and you just rub them like this and they come off. Obviously, they're all over the counter. They're going to go in my smoothie, but that's how you open them up and take out the fruit. And the seeds, woo! The seeds look just like this. Quite a few seeds came out of that. That's just out of half of that pomegranate, and it was actually a pretty small pomegranate. And we'll add in the spinach as well, and let's get this blended up. Smoothies. Here I am. Yep, we got geese. All right, I've not stayed at this hotel before. This is the breakfast buffet, set up with coffee, hot water. I've already poured my coffee, and I was happy to see they have some almond milk. Let's check out what else they have here. Okay, yogurt, cereal, toast, bagels, English muffins, hard-boiled eggs and beans. What's in these? Okay, so we've got eggs, hash browns, French toast, bacon. Okay, It's pretty good. Ooh, and they have cranberry cocktail. I'm very excited about that. Okay, first day away. Breakfast of champions. Hash browns, eggs, and bacon, and coffee. And I am eating quite a full breakfast this morning because I'm not sure about lunch. I'm not super familiar with the area around this work site, and it's a bit rural. So I'm not sure if there's going to be a place where I can quickly go and grab something to eat. So better to fill up now, and I have snacks in my bag. There are a bunch of options for lunch. Just going to get a little plate and have a little variety. Little variety lunch. I got a little bit of everything. Well, I guess not everything. Celery, cherry tomatoes, a piece of pepperoni, some nachos and some salsa, and a little bit of cheese. I chose eggs, sausage, hash browns, and juice. Lunch today is a wrap and a pickle. Wrap and a pickle. This morning they had ham at the little hotel breakfast. So ham, eggs, and hash browns, coffee, and juice. The drive took much longer than expected today. The roads were really miserable. I didn't want to stop and have a full lunch, so I'm just going to eat some snacks that I already had in my work bag. Supper is early anyways, so 4:30 for supper. Clam strips and poutine. I'm at a different hotel today than yesterday. I'm about 3 hours away, two and a half hours away from where I was yesterday. And you can definitely tell the difference. This hotel initially seems like it's nicer, swankier, but we've got paper plates, and the selection is certainly not as extensive. There is a selection, it's just not as extensive. I'm finally home. It was a long several days, like 4.5 days. And I did end up picking up this creamy ranch for $2. It was a marketplace deal, and you can see, actually, like, it is 3/4 full. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is. So very, very happy with that. Since it has been such a long couple days, we planned in advance to have something really simple. For supper tonight, we're going to have nachos. We got some of this frozen turkey. This is turkey breast out of the freezer. I'm going to shred this and we are going to mix it with these barbecue sauce packets that we have. So we are going to have barbecue turkey nachos with onions, mushrooms, jalapenos, and I might even cut into our green pepper. Normally we use our medium size bar pan, but it's not in with the other bar pans. So I'm assuming that it is in the dishwasher, which is running, and that the handsome one must have used it when he was cooking chicken strips or something while I was away. So we're just gonna partially fill the large bar pan. I just cut up the turkey with kitchen shears. This is 3 of the sauce packets, which is probably going to be enough. It totally is. All right, we've got everything on. Mushrooms, jalapenos, you see in there. Just all kinds of good stuff. This looks really delicious, a nice and simple meal. When you come home after a long week away and you're pooped, it's nice just to have something fast. Homemade salsa and mashed avocado. It was actually a really good week. The handsome one did fantastic. He said he had lots of lovely meals that he really enjoyed. He loved the meatballs. He raved about those. He loved the hot dogs, raved about those multiple times and said they were so good. I don't know what happened to the 4th hot dog. I did ask him because we had 4 hot dogs left and I still don't really know what happened to that 4th hot dog. I'm going to guess that was shared between 2 spoiled little dogs. That's my guess. He also liked the wraps. Again, commented when I got home how much he really likes chicken strips and wraps. So that's great. That's an easy meal for him. We did pretty well, and stay tuned for Monday. I'm losing track of the days. I've been gone so long. It's good to be home. Stay tuned for Monday when you see the week 12 meal grocery video. And I did buy some of my groceries while I was away because there was a No Frills in one of the towns that I was at. So that's always exciting. I popped into No Frills. So thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I would really appreciate it if you would do so. It will help me. Thanks, everybody. Happy weekend.